Alright, here we go, guys. Episode 7, The Robot.
So what's the story on him?
Yeah, he just goes around these tournaments, you know. That's how he makes his living. Just go around to these tournaments, wins, doesn't have a job, then goes to school, play these tournaments.
I think the person who stood the hands of time as of right now is possibly Mewtwo King.
Oh God, M2K.
A superficially stereotypical, but then also very interesting person, especially in how it comes out in his play style.
He still, after all of these years, is able to get, you know, top 5 if he stops getting emo and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I'll turn the video up a little bit. Let me know if that helps, guys.
Interesting. Yeah. He's very interesting.
Melee controller? Dude, we're interviewing someone. Oh, do you think you can make a quick announcement before I do?
Okay, sorry, I'm just pausing this because this is a Posthole and this is Hungrybox, and they look so funny 4 years ago. This is over 4 years ago now. It's just hilarious seeing them this young.
Alright.
A bit weird, but I like him.
I know Ken's right.
A bit weird, but I like him. I love Harmada's accent.
Mewtwo King's below him, but he was damn scared to play Mewtwo King. I guarantee it. Everyone was scared to play Mewtwo King because when he's on, you just don't understand how you can possibly beat this guy.
Lord, when the fuck did this pasty white kid learn how to play basketball?
How is the sound balance now, guys? Are we good? Or do I need to turn it up more? Hate the opening beat. It's pretty good, man.
Congratulations to PC Chris. He came in at the beginning of the season, stunned everyone by beating Ken. He outlasts everyone else.
They took it off the pro circuit, which was really upsetting for us because that's part of what creates the hype, is being in this environment with hundreds and hundreds of video game players.
MLG, they bought Smashboards. They obviously believe in Smash as a competitive game, and like part of it has to do with just Nintendo's a pretty reluctant company to work with. You know, through all the years of doing events, I've seen Microsoft and Sony, and they just understand that like competitive gaming is big. It means something for them, and they want to work with you. Like, you know, they've tried to help us along. They brought developers over. Nintendo's kind of been very much the opposite, where they don't really in competitive communities at all. They're difficult to even get streaming rights. Like, we haven't even asked them for like TVs, money, anything.
Stop ringing.
We show this game that we believe in, that you created, stream it for our professional events, and they've been reluctant to even do that.
They started 07.
Yeah, I do have a fan on.
By having a little like grassroots event that they got a venue for. It was a nice venue and everything, but there was no hype. So that was kind of their transition, was we can't have you on the pro circuit anymore, but we'll try to help you guys out. So, which was nice of them, but like I said, it just wasn't the same as having it on the pro circuit. It was a really, really big difference.
The chance for Smash to grow into something more.
I should just let myself talk sometimes, because I basically just said what I said at the end of the last episode. That was me signing out of Skype, guys, not you.
Seemed lost. In the wake of MLG's decision, the community pressed on, back into the underground world from which it had emerged.
A lot of times one champion is replaced by another. Ken was replaced by PC Chris, Korean DJ, and Mewtwo King all at the same time, which is kind of cool that it took three people to bring Ken down.
It looked like the stage was set for me, Korean DJ, Mewtwo King, just like anyone else who was hungry enough to get up there.
The three players wrestled for dominance in Ken's absence. KDJ bested Mewtwo King at the MLG-sponsored Long Island event. Mewtwo King stopped KDJ at Cataclysm 3. In California, PC Chris defeated Mewtwo King at OC3, and Mewtwo King trounced PC at FC Diamond in Indiana. All three were, beyond question, the most fearsome players around, but the youngest of the trio seemed slightly different, a savant pursuing one thing above everything else: perfection.
Unless you're frame perfect 99 out of 100 times, you're not good enough. That's my mindset. That's what I tell myself. That's how I got good.
Okay. To be fair, one thing that I did not give him credit for at the time, but I have tremendous respect for now, is the frame list that Mewtwo King put together. I don't know if all of you are familiar with this, but Mewtwo King put together a giant list of all the frame data pretty much you can think of in Melee. And he did it without any kind of Game Shark or Action Replay. He had some kind of weird like pausing system to figure out frames. But he figured out all these frames and they were all right, like they were all accurate in like 2004. And he made this giant list, and you could still find it, I'm sure, online somewhere. But just the fact that he looked into the game that deeply, I don't think anyone considered looking into the frames behind smash attacks that early into the game's meta as Mewtwo King did. So gotta give him props for that. That was pretty crazy.
He's so into frames. He's so into the tiny little details. Just thinking about theories and logic and the steps.
I'll do like up air and fast full like the next frame so that I can hit them just barely, but they can't hit me. And if somehow the up air misses, I get a double jump nair and stuff like that. I did that at MLG. I just trained like up 3 hours a day for like 2 weeks.
Everyone makes a joke that to be good you have to like sit in your basement for hours on end, over and over again until you finally have an understanding.
Yeah, he was really young when he did that. He was probably 13 or 14.
Except for Mewtwo King.
Try to be as perfect as possible, and if there's some area that's not perfect, it's like, how can I make this a little better?
Super Doodle Man and Mewtwo King with their frame data on get up attacks, on moves being thrown out, distances on wave dashes and wave lands.
I spent like 2,000 hours on that shit, just double checking and triple checking just to make sure it's as absolutely accurate as I could possibly get it.
He's very focused on whatever his objective is, and it can work for and against him a lot of the times.
I beat Super Mario Bros. Original on NES. I beat it when I was 5. I made tons of like, pixel art and stuff back then. It's just something I started once, so it's like, I'm gonna make a big maze. And literally 90% of it, I drew line by line, pixel by pixel.
King Jason Sheldon Zimmerman is cool. Oh my god, I want to pull up the drawings Mewtwo King did of like various Pokemon. Oh my god. Hold on, I might be able to find this real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. This is going to be totally worth it if I can find it. And if you guys, especially if you haven't seen it. Please, work. Oh, man. Okay, basically Mewtwo King... Oh, you found him? Nice. Okay. M2K's Pokemon drawings, dude. Okay, hold on. Alright, look. Hold on. I just have to do this real quick. This is totally worth. Okay. So these are M2K's drawings from way back in the day. They're so good. This is like, what, a Bomberman boss or something? This is Charizard. Some kind of Raichu evolution. I don't know what's going on here. Fire Rex. Shout out to Fire Rex. Oh my god. This is Mew 5 or something. Wait, Flame Flash. Evolved form of Magmar. Damn. Flame Friar. One of the 3 legendary mice. Oh my god. Supposed to be devilish. Legendary bird. Random Mewtwo drawing being badass. I have like 10 plus more of these, but they were too big to scan and I never got around to it. Mew 3! Look at Mew 3, guys. Oh my god. Mew 3's moves. Wow, that seems a bit OP. Mew 4. Can't forget Mew 4. This thing is a real killer. And then, of course, where are we gonna go from that but Mew 5? Oh my god, dude. Wait, what are these? Peacock? Okay. Alright, well I pretty much saw the ones I wanted to see already, which was Mew 3, 4, and 5. So, these aren't bad though. I'm not making fun of Mewtwo or anything. I think he finds these funny now too, so. Anyway. Let us continue with the regular documentary reviewing.
Confirm, where he is on the autistic spectrum, whether he's got a little bit of Asperger's or not. I certainly don't want to make any judgments, but he's in that vein. He's in that Rain Man world. Mewtwo can, in fact, recite many, many, many digits of pi. Enough so that you have to tell him to stop when he's doing it. Mewtwo lacks the ability to judge social clues. You get him in ridiculous situations sometimes. One time I lost my jacket at a tournament, and I went out to the lobby and I found him sleeping in my jacket. He didn't realize that it was weird. One time we were in a car together, and we made a joke about, like, just get out of the car. And he opened the door and tried to leave while we were driving. And I think he would have done it if we hadn't pulled him back in. He was a complete nutcase.
One time we went to a Massachusetts tournament, and I'm almost positive he just didn't understand the concept of paying for something in the store. So he walked into like a gas station and just took like a Mountain Dew and left. And I was like, yeah, I'll just pay for that.
He might do things that offend people or things like that without knowing it, but he never means harm.
There was definitely things he would do that would rub people the wrong way, especially at that point.
People really, I think, dismissed him, if not outright disliked him, because I don't think he knew how to really express himself properly. But he wasn't good enough, and you got respect by being good.
There was like kind of two different camps, people that didn't really understand Mewtwo King, and then people that were like accepting and encouraging for him. And I think that kind of helps.
He honestly, back then, all he cared about was Melee. It was all Smash. So like any relationship I had with him was only involved playing video games, unfortunately. When he first started playing, he had a very robotic style. He only played by himself for his computer, so he wasn't really exposed to like just normal like play styles, like a thinking opponent, like who adapts and like tries to like read you. He's not used to that, so he struggled at first in the community, like playing wise.
He was a scrub.
He wasn't a natural by any means, but he had a work ethic at the time.
He was a scrub.
Unmatched, and for most players, still is unmatched.
It was I think Melee FC's 3 or 6. We actually found Mewtwo King 3 in the morning. He was still holding on to his controller.
Okay, so I filmed this, and I've told this story. I don't know if I told it during the documentary reviewing, but I told it on my stream before, but I'm going to tell it again anyway. Mewtwo King came to a North Carolina tournament while I was down at I had an apartment at Virginia Tech, and Mewtwo King spent the night there at my apartment. And the next morning, Savage and I get up like pretty late because we all partied and stuff after the tournament, whatever. And me and Savage Savage is a Virginia player for back in the day who was giving Mewtwo King a ride, and that's why he was there. But he's like just hanging out, like we had just woken up, we're just talking, standing behind this couch. All of a sudden, we hear controller noises. We're like, what? Like, no one's playing. And we look down, Mewtwo King is fast asleep on the couch with a GameCube controller in one hand, just pressing buttons, literally in his sleep. Like, he was going at it. And as soon as Savage and we both looked down at the same time and saw it, we had to, like, maintain our composure for a hot second, run to my bedroom, close the door, and crack up, like burst out laughing, because we were just like, oh my god, did we really just witness this? And I was like, wait, no, I have to get this on film. So I brought my laptop out and pointed it at M2K, and this is the result.
And he was actually pressing the R and L buttons like sleepwalking in his sleep, and we couldn't believe. We like poked him. He didn't wake up. It's not like he was faking it. He was dead asleep. But he was just still going at it.
They all said I sucked, and then I was like, well, I'll prove you wrong then. That just made me want to prove them wrong. L5, Ken and Albion, they both 4-stocked me. The next year, I beat Ken in a 3-5 set of Fox. The next year, I 3-stocked him in 3 different occasions in Martinos.
I'm a beast at Martinos, and he raped me consistently. He had to fight Wes, raped him. He had to fight PC Chris, destruction.
No offense to Keitaro, but I love the fact that Keitaro is randomly in this documentary. Keitaro was not there for Melee history.
He's gonna be the best player in the world.
That was dope.
If I get a hit, I want to take it as far as possible.
It works, you know, the best possible method. This is what you do in every scenario.
The most fearsome player to know in a match.
Yeah, playing M2K's Marth
became amazing.
During this time period felt really hopeless sometimes. Just felt like, man, this is not fair at all.
Unless I'm absolutely perfect, I'm not satisfied.
I wasn't around personally to see Ken's reign. Everyone said, you know, it was crazy how much better he was than everyone, but I seen Mewtwo King's reign. Mewtwo King was just so much better than everyone. He just destroyed everybody. It was just crazy.
It was 1, 2, 3, that's it. First stop, gone. I just rage quit it. I said I couldn't do it.
People are cleaning up after him. People remind him to bring his coat. They buy him food. They worship him. They used to people wouldn't give him the time of the day. But now that he's a god of this game, people will do anything that he wants. The power that he holds by being so excellent, have to respect it.
I'm like proof that a nobody can become number 1.
And, okay, just to reiterate, part of the reason I didn't like M2K at first was because I didn't like the fact that he didn't seem to have natural talent for the game, and he just got good by playing it a fuckload. I thought that, I don't know, I liked the fact that I considered myself having some natural ability, and that's why I could play not as much as, you know, most people practice, but still do well. But it's a foolish thing to have pride in, and obviously in retrospect I realized that was dumb. But that's why I didn't like him back in the day. But to give him props now, like, he clearly, like, put in so much time to get that good, and it showed in his gameplay. Like, I don't know if it necessarily still shows, like, he has a lot of issues with the way he feels, like, emotions, like, stuff like that, which is funny because people always call him the robot, but he's probably one of the players that's most affected by in-game emotions. But regardless of all that, in 2006 to 2007, to watch him play when he was playing well was just like, damn, this guy's playing the game like in an optimal way that you really can't touch him if he's playing right. Like, it was crazy.
In Melee, Mewtwo King was near perfect, but his obsession was for a game which it seemed would soon be made obsolete.
There's one more title I guess I should mention that will turn that fight into an absolute brawl.
Uh-oh. Bad news. This was everyone's reaction to Brawl. It was just so sad. Like, I get so sad recalling this, man. We had such high hopes for this game.
I was excited. I mean, you play the game for so long, and you're like, you just want something. You want something new.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was like the new game to play.
This year's going to be the death of Melee.
So beautiful. And trust me, it's the best Smash Brothers ever, by far.
We drove to this distant GameStop outside of Philadelphia because it's the only one that was doing midnight release. We were so hyped, new characters. Melee was so good, so fast, so exciting. You know, it's gonna be part 2. We had the fest at my place, in my apartment. We had about 4 setups. We're playing it. We're playing it. We're playing it.
Look at how slow this shit looked.
It didn't wow me like right off the bat, and I was kind of worried about that. At least from a more Melee perspective.
It was so slow, not what we expected at all.
We tried to make it fun, I guess, but after a while, after a few months, it became clear that like the engine was just designed to really, really reward defensive play.
There's just like little room for...
To expand on that, Asin got an early copy of Japanese Brawl, and he hooked me up with one too. And Asin and I were easily the best 2 players in MDVA for the first month to month and a half of the game, just because we had that head start. But we played the game super aggressively. We played it how we wanted. That's why we actually enjoyed Brawl for a long time. My initial main in Brawl was I tried to play Squirtle. I don't know if you guys remember my avatar on Smash Bros. Was Squirtle, but that used to be my favorite Pokemon. I was super hyped that he was in the game. But I lost to a local player who I'd never lost to in Melee, but he beat my Squirtle / Pokemon trainer with Meta Knight. And I was just like, damn, Squirtle's just bad. I need to drop him. It's kind of the same story in Smash 4 with Mega Man, but that's another story. Anyway, I went from him to Zero Suit. I briefly mained. Kind of the same thing as Smash 4 as well. And then I eventually went to Snake, DDD, and Falco, who eventually became kind of my tri-main, depending on the matchup. But for a few months, Asin and I really enjoyed the game, and we were doing so well at it, despite we were trying to play it as close to Melee as possible, because we played offensively. We went in on people. We never sat back projectile camping or anything like that. But as the game went on, it became more and more obvious that was the optimal way to play the game. And that's eventually, I quit pretty soon into Brawl's competitive lifespan, because I just didn't like the direction the game was going.
Combos, exciting match play, whereas it's more just who gets hit less.
Everything that made Melee great, the combo system with hit stun, the various movement options, it had all been lost in translation.
A lot of them felt like Brawl was intentionally made to not be a competitive game, which is true.
This is going to be a direct shout out to Sakurai, but gaming got to where it is today because of its hardcore competitive audience that it was targeted towards 10 years ago. And I don't hate on the fact that we and other gaming companies are trying to increase and widen their audience, but at the same time, I feel like Nintendo this time pushed it too far and they cut out their competitive audience. In Sakurai's interviews where he says he wants everyone to win, I cannot understand that mindset, because Melee was so popular and still is because it had the duality of being able to be played as a party game and as a competitive game. I don't understand the reason for just eliminating half.
Nevertheless, people still developed a competitive game behind it.
there
Very
is
good
such
point
a
by Milky.
scene for Brawl still because of Melee, and because Melee was so competitive, people wanted to make Brawl just as competitive, and you can, just not, it's not pretty. I'd say like summer of that year, not even too long after its release, that's when most people started to realize, at least people that had gone to Melee tournaments, that this is not a legit game for tournaments, so that's about when I stopped.
Brawl cleaved the community in two and seemed to mark the end of the road for some of Melee's elite.
I kind of got into Brawl for a little while, and that didn't last very long. And I didn't look to Melee to go back. I just honestly thought I was going to quit there. I was just like, well, you know, like I had my moment in Melee, like I had fun with it. I'll still play it, like with my friends, but like it's not going to be a big part of my life anymore.
Towards my later years in college, it was just incredibly difficult to have the same kind of lifestyle. When Brawl came out too was really what set the nail for my hiatus.
But for Mewtwo King, Brawl was a chance to keep going with competitive gaming and get a jump on the competition.
So I just tried to get really ahead of the curve, so that way I can like make a lot of money and make a name for myself even more, and just have fun, just everything. I have fun playing Meta Knight because he's fast and I like combos. If he was like the only Melee character, I just try to figure out everything really fast.
Playing both Brawl and Melee at the same time competitively is very difficult because they're...
And I think a lot of us realized how broken Meta Knight was very quickly. Maybe similar to how people are thinking about Diddy now, but I feel like it was almost more pronounced than that, even, because we just recognized this character has the most broken options, like, period. Like, he has such a better moveset than every other character that even if he gets outplayed, like, he's probably gonna win.
Two different games.
At some point in 08, I was actually like top #1 in both games.
Azim was really good at Brawl too, as I said. That's why he's right there. I think that's Lee Martin, Ike player. Random Marvel footage. Oh yeah, because of Evo. Evo 2007 was an interesting tournament for a lot of reasons. Let me just
found a temporary home
wait
in
to
the
see what
lineup
the
of
doc says about
Evolution,
it.
the premier fighting game tournament in the United States. The professional setting and first place prize brought a familiar face out of retirement for one last tournament.
Third place wasn't good enough for me. Like, I wanted to go out with a bang. I wanted first place. I signed up for Evo, and I trained my ass off.
For Mewtwo King, a focused Ken would be the man to beat at Evo. But before he could take him on, he found himself facing off against a Melee newcomer and his stubborn Jigglypuff.
This was crazy because Evo, due to time constraints, had best of one sets for the first like 3 or 4 rounds. So after pools in the bracket, you only had one match, and apparently Mango, this is Mango age 15 or something, very young Mango against already established, probably best player in the world at the time, Mewtwo King. And they ran him to Dreamland, which obviously is in Jig's favor in this matchup. Mango
was talking to me about, like, I went to a California tournament and I was like, yo, who should I watch out for? And he's like, you don't know who he is, but you need to watch out for this guy Mango. Like, he might not beat you, but he's getting good and he's improving so fast.
The way Mango landed rests this early in the metagame was just ridiculous. Like, he was landing rests that would be impressive today in 2007.
And he's he's just sick with Jigglypuff, like better than anyone you ever seen with Jigglypuff. And I'm like, wow.
There's another one.
Usually when you ask something, they're like, oh, watch out for this guy, blah blah blah. Like, he like went out of his way to warn me about Mango. So I was like, this guy must be legit.
That rest out of shield though, on a down air. And okay, so this is me at the time. I fight winner of this match, so I'm like, oh my god, this random Jigglypuff just beat Mewtwo King. in a best of one. Hell yes. Thank you, Evo rule set. I'm about to bop this kid. I don't know if it's covered, but Mango definitely 2-0'd me. Shortly thereafter with Jigglypuff. He bopped my Fox game 1. I think he 2-stocked me, and so I went Marth, and he 3-stocked my Marth. He rested me out of shield probably 4 times. That's it. So shout out to Mango.
Well, when Mango came on the scene, I was already on my way out. I was already a little too old, and I was already not quite good enough, and blah, 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 blah. So I was able to view it kind of on the
Damn,
outside.
young DJ,
He was
Nintendo.
a hurricane force, and when he beat Mew2King, everyone said that it was a fluke, including myself. I thought, it was the middle of the night, and he was on West Coast time, and that's just Jigglypuff, please, that's not a real character.
So, but to go on, I don't think this is covered in the doc. Because of that, because I lost to Mango, and Mew2King lost to Mango as well, I ended up playing Mango, or not Mango, I ended up playing Mew2King in losers. And to recap my whole EVO 2007 experience, about a week and a half before EVO, which was EVO World, because they had EVO qualifying events, which was like EVO East and EVO West. This was back in 2007. They don't have those anymore, but it was EVO World. Chew hit me up maybe a week and a half before the event, and it's just like, yo man, you need to get out to EVO World, dude. This thing is super free. They have these really big guaranteed prizes, and no one good is going aside from like Ken and PC and me. Like, that's pretty much it. Me, Mew2King, Ken, and PC are the only good people going. And I was like, oh snap, like I can easily get top 8 at this. Let me go. So since it was only like less than 2 weeks before the event, I dropped almost $500 on a plane ticket. And then I lost to Mango shortly after Mew2King lost to Mango. And then I played Mew2King in losers bracket. So if I lost to Mew2King there, the loser got 9th, which was 1 spot out of the money. 7th place was guaranteed a minimum of like 300. So I was like, if I lose right now, I'm going to be negative $500. I just flew out to Vegas and lost $500 without even gambling. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I'm fighting Mew2King for a spot in the money at EVO. And this was when Mew2King was the best player in the world. But I just went ahead and I beat Mew2King's Marth with Sheik. Best player in the world at the time. I was using my secondary. Don't matter. I just beat him because I really needed to win. Otherwise, I had just lost $500. So that's one example of when I absolutely needed to win, and it just went right for me, and I did win, and Mew2King ended up getting 9th at that tournament. I ended up losing to a wobbling Chudat in top 8, but like I said, I was happy that I got money regardless.
Etc. And I made a lot of excuses, and then Mango continued to win tournaments.
What the fuck was that? Oh no!
Mew2King is good at finding like the best options for a situation, which can lock him into a bad mindset of best option all the time.
Damn, that jab reset.
Because Mew2King wants the best option, so he says you just do stupid things that shouldn't work. Basically, you approach him in weird what he says it's like you do weird stuff. He doesn't know what to do.
Mew2King was so upset about this. I don't think. Wait, did they talk about Mango's pound 3 run?
Grab you, then up throw you. No, he says I'm gonna wait, and you're gonna do this. You're gonna roll because I'm forcing my will on you. It's a very typical West Coast player mentality. They're not really interested in dissecting the game so much as they are playing it and learning how to manipulate their opponent really well. Whereas Mew2King is just figuring out how to abuse the game as hard as he can.
So good. That combo is so ridiculously good.
He's really good. His combos are amazing, but once you get in his head, it's downhill for Mew2King.
This is very true, and this is one of the reasons I still say I can compete with Mew2King to this day, is because I beat him at that EVO. Honestly, I feel like any player who has ever beaten Mew2King in a tournament set, from then on, Mew2King always automatically gives himself a mental block against him, like, oh my god, this guy's really good, I have to play my best, or whatever. Like, I don't know, he gives himself a mental block, and he ends up playing worse because of it, and that's with any player he's ever lost to. That's why I still do really well against Mewtwo King, even though he's way, way better than me, so for what it's worth. I don't think they talk about Mango's whole Pound 3 run here, so I'll go into it briefly. Basically, when Mango came to Pound 3, there was all this hype about him. Oh my god, this guy's the new blood, he's going to be the best player, blah, blah, blah. Round 1 of Pound 3, he loses to Vist, a local Luigi player who now you guys probably know of him as a really good Luigi. Back then he was not at that level yet. So we were like, oh my god, Mango just lost to Vist. Round 2 of pools, Mango loses to Plank. And granted, Mango went Falco, and we still didn't know that Mango had Spaceys yet. So we were like, oh, he was messing around, but still, he lost to Plank. Like, he can't be that good. Then in bracket, the final top 32 bracket, Mango loses to Silent Wolf in a Link Ditto, I think, round 1. And so we're just like, oh man, we told you guys, West Coast, you guys are done for. Like, what the hell were you thinking? This kid sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then Mango made the most ridiculous losers run that he still won't shut up about till this day. To be fair, it was the most ridiculous losers run. I think he talks about it in his episode, but the thing that really doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, is the fact that the two people that got the closest to beating Mango at Pound 3 losers were Azen and Chu. And Chu was just a super close set that he lost like game 3 last hit. Azen got screwed over by Green Greens. He definitely died to like 2 blocks falling down or something like that. I forget the specifics because it was so long ago, but Azen got screwed by Green Greens against Mango, game 3, Pound 3. He probably would not have won that match if they did not play it on Green Greens, to be fair. Just saying. So H2O was still that good.
Good for Jackson, Mango.
West Coast? Shout out to Mango.
So much of Mewtwo King's identity came from being a god at the game. So on comes Mango, his kryptonite, and when Mango beat him in those awful, horrendous, embarrassing Jigglypuff Dittos, I think it changed him forever. At least in a Smash way, if not in a real world kind of way. Mewtwo King's not able to beat Mango anymore. It's like something broke in his brain, and he forever has a mind block where he can't beat him, and it's a shame. And you see just the frustration in losing to him.
Although now he beats Mango sometimes.
He loses 1 match or 2 matches and that's it. He's done for the tournament. He can't bounce back from it. He's not like a Ken shooter. He doesn't like the adversity. He doesn't like being cheered against. He doesn't like not understanding what's going on. And those things there, I really saw frustration and anger in him. It used to be everyone rooted for Mewtwo King, and then by the end people were rooting against him, and to see him fall to Mango, well, it's very heartbreaking for me. It's very sad.
I have like depression problems. Like when I'm like not playing good in a day or just feeling down for whatever reason, I just get depressed, and then it's a really big problem I have. I just get depressed, and then I just like don't feel like playing anymore.
If M2K kept his composure like Mango or Armada did, I have no doubt in my mind that he would be winning most of the major tournaments.
I mean, I know it's a John, but it's like it's also the truth.
I know it's a John, but it's also the truth. A classic phrase.
No one wants you to win. It's like I feel like I have no friends. I feel like I'm the enemy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big pussy, but I mean, what I'm saying is also true. I actually think it's both.
I love Jason now, no homo. He really does mean well, regardless of him coming off the wrong way sometimes.
Even as we still decided to stick with the Melee, not all of us did. Numbers were starting to wane. These events used to be like 40, 50 people in the tri-state region. You know, starting to dim down to 20, and they're really concerned, like, is this the end?
Oh damn, Allied. Shout out to Allied.
And it's like, you know what, let's just do one more, as farewell. AKA Olive, ladies and gentlemen. That's the boy.
Bright and early, man.
Bright and early. Rob,
I came a little late because, I had the females here setting up.
Yeah, the females.
What time does team start? The team starts at 12.
Who's interested? And then it was a waterfall.
TV, laptop, TV.
Scar, old school Scar. Look at old school Scar, guys. Look at old school H-Box.
And then, Mango.
This is hilarious.
While we with Mewtwo King, you have this mix of all generations of the game. Guys like Korean DJ, Shootout, PC, teaming with Mango. Mewtwo King, he's the bridge between those generations. There was nothing like it. I went from studying these guys in the hub to being there, playing them in friendlies and asking them directly. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. At that point in my Smash career, I kind of had said, okay, I made out a bracket, I can at least communicate.
This is Scar
I can
right
go
here.
back to where I started, back to Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter. And then match 4 happened.
Stay mind, you son of a bitch.
Without that set, I probably would.
How old was Mango? Like 16?
What stage are we thinking? Is he going back to stadium? Oh my random. Keeping him as Marvel? I don't know.
Shiz would be like a Karl Malone, someone who was extremely solid, might not have won the big one, but people definitely know that name.
Yeah, Merc City.
NTK
We actually have a
was
YouTube
kind
series
of
together called
Jordan
Chillin' with Two. Check it out, dude.
Shiz was one that everyone was screaming for and wanted to see advance. I was a Falco main, and Shiz is just pushing the brink of anything I'd ever seen before.
Shiz was crazy good, man. So technical. And like I said, I had first met Shiz nearly 3 years before this. 2 years before this. And he was already the most technical. This combo is so ridiculous. Asin got 7th, I think, at that ROM. I forget who he lost
I
to.
just remember my doubles partner, Can I Smash, is standing next to me, screaming his lungs out, saying, I don't care anymore, I'm maining Falco after
Yeah, more
this."
Chillin' with Chew is coming in the future, guys. Just it's hard now because Chew has a full-time job.
A lot of times, he would defeat himself. If the crowd's not behind him, if he's being cheered against.
How hard
if
is
he
for me to focus when the crowd is against me? It depends. Like, sadly mistaken.
We're going to game 5. Shiz just has this in control.
I don't know why Shiz went over there, man. Don't go over there, Shiz.
I can dominate, I can take over the game at any point I choose to. You make one mistake, that's all it takes, because I know how to get rid of you. If you pull victory from the jealous defeat, there's no other ways from saying it.
Match 4 became the most watched of all time, and, just like that, a community which seemed destined to fade away was revived, thanks in part
Hold up.
to a robot.
Hold up. Let's point out all the old school people. Damn, you saw Shiz with? Like, damn.
I can dominate, I can take over the game at any point I choose to.
I'm gonna pause
You
that
make one
picture
mistake,
and try to
that's
point
all
out
it
everyone.
takes, because I know how to get rid of you. If you pull victory from the jealous defeat, there's no other ways from saying it.
Match 4 became the most watched of all time, and, just like that, a community...
Okay, here we go. This is Queen DVS, a Florida player. Used to team with Rock Croc all the time. I don't know. There's Rock Croc right next to him. So, Florida Gators hoodie. That's definitely Queen DVS and Rock Croc. This is PB&J, now the owner and host of Smash Studios. Some of you guys may recognize him. PB&J. I don't know what everyone's looking at, but it's clearly not the camera for most of them. Mango, obviously. I don't know who this kid is. This is Scar. East Coast Scar. Kage, right there behind Scar. I don't know who that is, but that's G-Money. Here you can see a little bit of G-Money's head there. No dreads yet. M2K wearing Shizwiz's hat and making a gangsta face. This is obviously young DJ Nintendo. This is J-Man in the red hoodie here. Young J-Man as well. I don't know who that guy is. Shizwiz. Bruce Lee shirt. Nice Bruce Lee shirt. I don't know who any of these guys are. And this is young Reno. So, just a funny
Which
picture
seemed
all
destined
around.
to fade away was revived, thanks in part to a robot.
Yeah, he lost to Mango afterwards, but he was able to recover, where most players just mentally would have been crushed. If I see, Apex 2016, and he gets top 3 in Melee, top 3 in Brawl, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think that a lot of people would have gotten to know him, possibly because of the social barrier between him and other people. But I think he's made real friends that he's been able to hang out with and spend time with and make a connection with because he was good at the game. Not because he played it, because he was good at it, because there is a difference.
He started hanging out with us, we actually got him to drink. And I don't know, we just talk, just to hang out, not play Smash, not talk about Smash.
Over the years, I must say that, he's changed for the better.
He's always trying to help people with stuff. He had helped me with Melee.
I mean, if you talk to M2K now versus 5 years ago.
This interview, I might show this interview after this episode because this interview's fucking hilarious.
He's way more personable.
Despite me being a nasally fat teenage nerd, that interview is so
he's
good.
Definitely improved in that respect. So
I feel like the Smash community kind of helped him a little bit, in terms of if he was playing an online game, he might still be the same, he might not have that communication, when you're talking, developing real relationships, that definitely helps out. He's gotten plenty of friends from Smash that helped him,
She looks so sad in this picture randomly.
The real Mewtwo game.
Okay. What was that? Ginyu Force.
The Ginyu Force? Oh my god.
Well, we can play anywhere. Yeah, but against Boost.
13 more subs for next episode. Exactly, dude. I don't think I'm gonna do another episode, guys. I can watch that interview real quick.
Balls out, the most aggressive player you're ever going to play.
You watch him play, and it's like, oh god, this guy's the truth.
He hates personally playing Hungrybox because you have to play a certain style.
I got good using gimmicks.
There's always been that little rivalry between the two, and I think it comes down to Puff.
Oh my god. I have so many stories to tell in the next episode.
How will I react if I win? And how will that feel like if I lose?
I have so many stories to tell about the next episode. Oh my god.